So hey guys, welcome back to EM and SMC Trader. So as you can see, I took an entry and this is a 22 YT model entry. So as we can see, the market on 15 minutes chart, the market is fully bullish. The market simply tapped to this 50%, the last fair value gap, 15 minutes last fair value gap, and the market simply tapped to this 50%. And as you can see, market simply came here and we can see the seller's pressure is becoming slow. So here the market created some sell side liquidity over here. So market taken these sell side liquidities, but market kept those extreme sell side liquidities. And as we can see in the buy side zone, the market kept much more buy side liquidity over here. Slowly the buyers pressures are coming on the market. That's why I took this entry on the basis of this order block. As you can see, this is our order block, this is the market structure shift, this is the last fair value gap. Market simply traded until this and went a little bit up. So here I marked this as a first partial and I want to see the market. This is the 50% of this order block. So this is the 50% of this order block and I marked this as the mean threshold. I want to see nobody will close below this mean threshold level, and this is the order block level. So as we can see, market is simply respecting this order block and the mean threshold level. This is the 50% of this candle. So let's see what happens. This is my first partial. As we can see, there are the buy side liquidities over here, extreme buy side liquidities. So I have the hope on the market that the market will take these buy side liquidities from here. And after getting the first partial, I will simply take my stop loss to the break even, and then my second partial is this. As you can see, they are the relatively equal highs. So I kept this as a second partial and I want to see the buy side liquidity will be taken. So that's my analysis on the market. Let's see what happens. As you can see, the market is simply trying to break this mean threshold level, but the body is being closed above this mean threshold level. Let's see what happens. The market simply hit my stop loss. So I can see this candle has closed below this. This is another entry opportunity for the sell. So I will be taking the sell entry. If market again comes here, as you can see, market didn't trade this line again. So I want to take the entry from here and my stop loss will be above this 10 handle stop loss and my target profit will be until this. So let's see what happens. Also, as we can see, market created a last fair value gap over here. So I am marking this as a last fair value gap. So I hope the market will come until this last fair value gap. So let's see what happens. I want to see the market shouldn't go above this. Okay, we can see from here that's the seller pressure. That's my entry fair value gap and that's my last fair value gap, and here I can see that's my inversion fair value gap. I want to see market shouldn't trade or come until this level. So let's see what happens. So as you can see, that's my first partial. Okay, I got my first partial. It's almost 16 handle. That's my final target. I want to see the market will reach until this. So as we can see, market simply give me the profit. So here I got a loss of almost how many? I took this entry on the basis of order block. So here I got almost 7 handle loss. So how I took this entry? Okay, as you can see, market simply made buy side liquidity over here, also the sell side liquidity, but the sell side liquidity is much more stronger. So that's why I simply marked this as an inversion fair value gap. Let me mark this as an inversion fair value gap. So how this is a perfect inversion fair value gap? Okay, this is a perfect inversion fair value gap. As we can see, these are the buy side liquidity. Okay, buy side liquidity, let me mark them as a buy side liquidity. Okay, they are my buy side liquidity, and here you can see this is the run which has taken this buy side liquidity. Okay, this is the run. This run takes this buy side liquidity. So in this run, always simply find for which is the highest fair value gap. So here I can't see any sort of fair value gaps over there. So this is my last and highest fair value gap. So I simply marked this. So when market simply came here, I can see market traded this inversion fair value gap and went a little bit higher and made this buy side liquidity much more powerful. So on this basis, I simply take my entry, and my entry was, this is my order block. Okay, this is my order block. I marked this as the order block, and the 50% of this order block is the mean threshold. I marked it. So as you can see, market simply traded the order block and also traded the last fair value gap. I didn't take the entry from here because this last fair value gap is too much small, so I didn't take the entry from here. So as you can see, market simply traded the order block. I took the entry, and my first partial would be this, my second partial would be this. Okay, so but as you can see, I simply got stopped out here, and this was almost 7 handle loss. Okay, I marked here, I write here as 7 handle loss. Then after this, as I can see, the market body, okay, this body has been closed below this inversion fair value gap. So I didn't take the entry cause market should came here. If this candle makes another displacement, then this would be my last fair value gap. So as you can see, market simply made a last fair value gap, and here we can see market simply made a entry fair value gap. Okay, so this is my entry fair value gap. This candle, these three candle are my entry fair value gap, and this is my last fair value gap. Okay, as you can see, these three candle. So I simply take my entry from here. As I took my entry, how I took my entry, I didn't took my entry from on the basis of this last fair value gap. Okay, I took the entry on the basis of this inversion fair value gap. This inversion fair value gap. So I took the entry, and I can see there is the last fair value gap on the same level of this inversion fair value gap. So this made my confidence level much more higher. So I took the entry, and my stop loss will be covering the upper quartile of this inversion fair value gap. You can simply put your stop loss here above this candle, but I prefer this is safety zone. Okay, so I simply kept it 10 handle, and my buy side liquidity, as you can see, they are my buy side liquidity, relatively equal lows, this is my sell side liquidity, sorry guys. So this is my sell side liquidity, so you guys can see they are the relatively equal lows. So I simply marked this relatively equal lows, and you guys should take some partial over here. As you can see, they are much more extreme liquidity zone. So wait, let me mark this as the sell side liquidity. So you guys should take some partial over here, but as these levels are much more closer, so that's why I didn't take any sort of partial. So as you can see, market simply provided 19 handle. So 7 handle loss and 19 handle profit. So that's what trading is. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.